Coach Pry, now you've won the Military Bowl. What are you going to do next?
Go bowling! For free, right?
You can start with the opening statement, then we'll take questions.
Yeah, listen, I just want to thank everybody. I told the guys it may take the rest of the offseason for me to tell people how much I appreciate them. You know, to go from 3 wins to 7, I mean, obviously these players are a huge part of that. But there's so many people in our organization that are pouring it into this thing right now. It's hard. I got a ton of respect for Tulane. 11 wins, 24 wins over a couple of years, won the Cotton Bowl. Like, it's hard. And we're making great progress. There's a lot of good things happening at Virginia Tech right now. But there's a lot of people pouring into it. And so I want to thank everybody. We've got the most unbelievable fan base. A testament again tonight. They sat through that rain cheering these guys on. They weathered the adversity just like the players did and stayed to it. So, you know, very proud of everybody's effort. The team stuck together all year, ignored the noise, and when it was bad and when it was good, and just stayed the course. We were truly a team that just kept getting better and better in a lot of places, and we needed to garner our 7th win. We got a lot of work left to do as a program, but I'm very proud of these guys. They deserve it. They've worked their tails off. They've stayed together. They sacrificed, committed. So I'll take some questions.
Brent, how much of a factor was the weather in your offensive game plan, and at what point in the second half did you feel like you could just run it, they couldn't really do much to stop you guys?
Yeah, first of all, the weather. I mean, obviously, as the head coach, I need to do a better job. We need more wet ball work. You know, it wasn't a lack of effort. It was, we got to make sure we're putting an emphasis where it needs to be. And it was tough conditions. It was tough conditions. You can't really simulate it like that. But, you know, we got it together. We had each other's back, which is important in those situations. And, you know, I think they had the same weather we had. You know, both teams had to deal with it. What was the second part of your question?
You win in the second half, did you feel like they just couldn't really stop you?
Yeah, you know, anytime we've had success this year, really, we've been able to run the ball. I mean, that's who we need to be. It's who we want to be. And I think with Kyron, you know, his ability to stretch the field sideline to sideline a little bit with his running, you know, opens it up for Bayshaw and Malachi and these guys. You know, we've worked the alleys, which is really important. Make people defend more of the field. When we started doing that, we had more success. So, yeah.
Right. Can you contrast this day to 2 years ago this week at Yankee Stadium when you got your first game day glimpse at this program, and then measure the progress that you have made in those 2 seasons?
I mean, this is a different team, you know, and a lot of these guys were part of that group, and you know, they went through adversity like we did this year, and just didn't get the outcome they wanted. But you know, we're certainly, you know, on the road in the right direction. You know, 2 years ago, you know, these guys have trusted the process. The coaches have, the players have, the administration's been super supportive. Witt and Dr. Sands, I mean, you know, it's taken everybody, and you got to have faith, you got to believe, and just keep working and trust the process, and everybody's done that, and that's what allowed us to get 7 wins.
And then you spoke to running the ball is who you want to be and need to be. Last year, 2 runs of more than 30 yards. This year, after today, you lead the nation with 16 runs of 30 or more yards.
Good stuff.
How did that happen, and how essential is that?
Yeah, it's critical. You know, we've got explosive players. We've got an offensive line that improved each and every week. And you know, they run hard, they play hard, they block hard, they strain, they finish. Those are the things we got better at. We block on the perimeter as well as any group I've been around. Today had to be an unselfish night for the wideouts. I mean, they just had to go out there and block their tails off, and they did it. But, you know, we got some guys with Bayshaw and Kyron that really sparked the run game and get it going. And, you know, every time they touched the ball, they got a chance to go distance.
Kyron, can you speak to your performance today and how you're able to do it despite the conditions against one of the better run defenses in the country?
It was just credit to the O-line, really, just being physical up front. That's what we said we had to do from the get-go, and then they were just able to create holes and just create for me and Bayshaw, just be able to run the ball and let us go make plays.
Bayshaw, they stout defense, they were limiting you 2-3 yards touch there to open the game. When did you notice that things started to crack for them? You were able to get the alley, get the edge, and start really ripping off some runs.
Like you said, it was tough sledding the first half or whatever, but just pounding and I think we're more physical than them, and we made them throw in the towel, I would say, and we just totally dominated them.
Norrell, the way the defense played throughout this entire game in that rain, you made it difficult for them, really took away their passing ability just with the pressure you're getting up front. What can you say about the work your defense did in being able to force the 3 and outs early and not let them sustain a lot of drives and really make them earn every yard that they had to get?
We know what type of defense we have been all year and what type of defense we could be when we play to our potential. So just Coach Marr emphasizing playing to our potential, Coach Pryor emphasizing playing to our potential. We can't nobody really see us, so I feel like that's what we did tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the big piece. Norrell said it. It's, a lot of teams have potential. It's we got to play to our potential at each and every spot. And the more we do that, the more consistent we are with it, the better team we will be.
Brennan, looked like Feldarius shifted a little bit to his left before he shot that gap down there on the goal line.
It's like you had the coach's copy or something. Don't give away our secrets.
But was that a called move, or was that
Yeah, it was just a late.
instincts on
It was a
him?
late stem. Yep, and it was just a late stem, and he's an explosive guy. He's hard to block at times. I mean, our offensive line knows that, and I see him shaking his head. But we try and move the front enough to keep the offensive line honest.
And how big was that?
That was a big play. Yeah, it sure was.
Coach, I know you guys had planned to use some of the tablets and the new technology today. Were you able to do it in this weather, and how did
We
it go?
did.
It worked?
I would have thrown them out. Not just old school like that, but both coordinators, they stuck to it, and I think they got a lot of value out of it.
Kyron, kind of talk about you gave up the fumble for the touchdown, but then you led 2 long scoring drives directly after. Just kind of talk about that resiliency and how that's been a staple for you just throughout the years as starting quarterback.
That type of resiliency just been me like all my life. Just being able to handle adversity, just be even killed, and I knew I had to do that because that was first drive of the game. We still got a long game to go, so as the next play mentality, that play was over with, and I just knew like as long as we go out there and do what we capable of, we'd able to win this game.
Coach, this is the team's first winning season since 2019, first bowl win since 2016. What does that mean to this program and how it's building momentum?
Yeah, it adds to the momentum. It just helps move that needle a little bit harder in the right direction. Like I said, there's a lot of good things happening within our program right now, and I think getting a win over a ranked team that had 11 wins and they had a Cotton Bowl victory last year. I mean, this was a good football team that's been well coached for a bunch of years. They had a chip on their shoulder. This was the type of win that we couldn't find during the season. And we didn't play as well as we could have today, and we were able to, win by 3 possessions.
Kyron, Coach Price said, the wide receivers had to do a lot of blocking, but Harrison St. Germain, first career catch and first career touchdown, found Benji there on the 10-yard pass. How big were those 2 tight ends, being you were down a tight end in this game?
Oh, they were really big. I think that's our first tight end touchdown in 2 years, so I was really happy for them just being able to get their touches and get the touchdown so they can get on the stat sheet, but they were a big part in this game.
Norrell, you and the guys who are leaving this program now have been through a lot to help Coach Pryor and this new staff build it back up to go out on a win like this, to win 2 straight, to beat UVA and then to win this game. Just summarize it all. What does this day and what has the last couple of weeks been like for you?
That's how you want to go out, especially when you're on your last leg, on your last limb. So appreciate the guys, and they played like that. They played like they knew guys were going out and that this was going to be their last game. And I appreciate them, boys. I walked down the sideline with like 30 seconds to go, dapping everybody else, just telling them I love them just because I do. I came back and didn't start how we wanted it to, but ultimately we got on the right page. We stuck to the process and just kept going. And, that just lead the legacy and just like Coach Price said, boost the momentum. And now people know the standard. You know, we went from 3 wins to 7 wins. Next year, the sky's the limit. Just got to keep that same standard, keep the same work, keep the same hunger. And I can't wait to watch them boys.
Brent, you guys were 7 for 14 on third down today, 2 for 2 on fourth down, while Tulane was 2 for 10 on third and 2 for 3 on fourth. Why were you guys able to, one, have success offensively on third and fourth down, and get off the field consistently on third and fourth down?
We were able to, manageable situations. We had positive plays on first down, second down, and we didn't have as many third and longs as we've had in some of the games where we haven't had that type of percentage. But I think that's a really good, I'm glad you bring it up, because in that type of weather, converting on third down and fourth down is tricky. And we needed to be able to do that, to score those points.
Bayshall, coach mentioned forcing defenses to defend the entire field in the alleys. You guys seem to really perfect that quick toss as the season progressed. You had one touchdown where I think you were untouched. How confident did you become in attacking teams' perimeters?
I think the whole offense became very comfortable. We had very success in the beginning of the year with it, and we just kind of stuck to it, perfected it, and today we came out, we executed the line. They do great, getting around to their blocks, and the wideouts, they do a great job, just selling their guys out. And like you said, I was untouched, so I'm just thankful for them and the work ethic they come with.
He's able to pick the right hole and run the right lane, too. And he does it pretty fast.
Brent, Dawan Lofton's in the transfer portal, but he hustles down and gets that fumble recovery on the muff punt. How big was that in terms of getting you guys going?
To me, it's a testament of the culture on this football program. He laid it on the line all game long and was nursing a hamstring. And like Norrell said, he just wanted to do it for his teammates, and go out with a victory and have a ring that says champions on it. Derek Canteen was the same way today. Those guys, they laid it on the line all year. And they're just looking for the opportunity that's right for them. I hate that they're leaving. I love those guys. But I'm certainly glad that they stuck with us and were part of this victory today, and that they'll have a ring forever and ever that says champions on it.